Alright, and welcome to the revenue breakdown for Open Fishing Excel. So this game is like 2 years old now. I made it it originally released at the start of 2023, then it released properly in the middle of 2023, like June or something. And now it's been like 1.5 years or something since it's like properly released. So that's why this is pretty old. I make more money now than this, but this is just this game. So this game has made me this is a big number, $5,374. So now you know what it is. So don't click away yet because I'm going to explain more stuff about like my revenue here. I don't get all of this number, mind you. Like like about half of that gets stripped away from like refunds and taxes, stuff like that. So like I get about half of that number. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. This is my first game, so I'm pretty satisfied with these numbers in general. And if you don't know if you can share this, I believe you can share this. If not, please correct me and I will take down this video because that might get me in trouble. But I'm pretty sure I can share this. So here we have our units sold. So I've sold about 1,268 units, of which some were returned and some were like Steam keys. So that these would be Steam keys that were activated by streamers and stuff. So that's basically these numbers. 112. This is actually a very low return rate, which is probably not a good thing since it means that the game isn't pushed out to general audience that much. If you want to learn games from faster, why haven't you joined our community yet of people making games for charity? It's in the description. It's our community. I'll be in there a lot, teaching people all I know, so we can make the best games for charity, and that's basically my entire life goal. So it's pretty important to me, so I'll be helping you real actively there. So if that sounds cool to you, join the link in the description. Now back to the so, and also the game is fairly cheap. The game is $5, so that would be why it's fairly low as well, I'm assuming. Median time played is quite low compared to my other game, Antkeeping Simulator. Antkeeping Simulator has about an hour extra compared to this one, so the game is by that metric less good. I like both games, but it's just maybe it hooks people less. I don't know. Antkeeping Simulator is my other game, and that very focused on ant keeping fans, so that's probably helping with that number, right? It's kind of like Train Simulator, but for ant keeping. That's kind of the audience I'm going for. So here you can see it's still selling pretty decently. I did a multiplayer update at some point, and the streamer covered it recently. So I've sold about 26 copies. This is about one a day in the last month. So that's quite nice, actually. To just make like $5 a day off of something you're not really working on anymore. It's pretty cool. Last 3 months I've made something like $400 off of it, so that's slightly more, or no, it's slightly less actually. But yeah, it's about 1 unit per day. It's cool. So this is like passive income. I don't like calling it passive income. I see it more as like you put in all the effort first, and then it's just it's delayed income, not passive. If anything, it's worse than making active income. But that's just yeah. So here you can see what countries have bought it. People in the US, mainly English-speaking countries, then like Sweden and Germany. I guess it's a Swedish game. I'm not Swedish, but like apparently the Swedes like it. Germany tends to be my biggest market outside of the English-speaking countries. Apparently it's Sweden for this one, but I think in the all-time stats, Germany tends to be at the top. I don't know. Germany is pretty big and a lot of gamers, I guess. Antkeeping definitely has a lot of Germans. Maybe it's something where the Germans sold, they're like ants. But point is, yeah. So this is the revenue. This is how much I make off of it. This is just my first project, so didn't make too much money. Really, like I spent about 8 months on this project, so it's not that much compared to how much effort I put in, of course. But let's look at the wish lists, because this is something a lot of game devs really care about, the wish list stats. So I've sold about 20% conversion rate. I don't know what that means. It's apparently above average. Is that good? Is that bad? Who knows? This I do know what these numbers here mean. So let's just look at this graph, because this one is very confusing from this perspective here. So basically none of this really matters that much compared to looking at this graph here, where we can see I had about 300. Oh no, wait. I had about. So this is where people start buying it. So I had about 150 wish lists, 120, 30, between 100 and 150 wish lists at launch. That's very little. This is not typical. This was an early access game, and I worked on it pretty heavily for about 8 months with weekly-ish updates. So Here you can see the first bit. Here I got 10 reviews on the game. So that you can see this is a big jump because then Steam puts you in the discovery queue and that really helps. So that's a big one. So that really helped the wishlist. It didn't help the actual sales as much, but the sales went up here a lot, probably because of that partially. I'm guessing because it is in early access. Or it was in early access. This is when it came out of early access. You can see big jump, smaller jump here, but still a jump. And basically, then it just flattened off with the outstanding wishlists. They kind of like lowered, and then more people started buying it because I just continued to do sales once in a while. So these aren't very typical numbers. Like I think the game did pretty well because I marketed it, or at least the ratio between my outstanding wishlists at the start, at like launch, at like 0.1 launch compared to 1.0 launch. I feel like that's pretty disproportionate because there was like 2 months of collecting wishlists here. If I had it on a demo, if I had done my marketing properly, basically, which you can learn from How to Market the Game, that guy, my favorite guy for marketing, he basically says off all the things you need to do. But my point being, you don't actually need to. My point being, this isn't typical. You usually don't see this much of a jump, but since I had very low marketing up front and I did have a decent-ish amount of wishlists, I feel like I could have, if I had just delayed the first launch, like if I had just done the 1.0 and I had just done a demo at first, then I probably would have gotten way more sales and probably way more money. But I wouldn't have gotten as much like experience from it. Like I learned a lot from doing it this way, and I got the game out, which really helped. But yeah, so essentially you don't want to do it this way. This is a terrible way to make a game. Because I could have been building wishlists this entire time with a demo out, and then probably be like at 700 wishlists or something, maybe the next list like 1,500, and I could have made so much more money. And it was so stupid to do it this way. But also I learned a lot. So I'm divided on how I feel about doing the early access thing as your first game. Probably generally this is advisable. But here we can see I don't know if any of these numbers are useful to people, but maybe you can get some knowledge from this. So yeah, that's cool. And that's it. Yeah. So this is just basically how much money the game made. As I said before, I don't get all of this money. I'm pretty happy with this because it's my first game, at least on Steam at least. So there's a full breakdown on how I made the entire game on my channel. There should be a playlist somewhere with like a Open Fishing Excel postmortem. I'm currently working on a postmortem for and keeping it as well, so that would be cool. And it's pretty neat. I also have a community of people making games for charity. That's linked down below if you want to join that and help donate like this much money times 100,000 or some shit to charity over my lifetime, and then maybe after that I'll probably keep going after I die. I hope so. Anyway, basically my goal is to donate $50 billion and save 10 million lives. So if you want to help me do that, join that community. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's it. Video over. Bye.